Namaste, friends. My name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit. This is our series on 2025 predictions for all the 12 rising signs, which is the Lagna, or based on Lagna or Ascendant. This specific video is for Taurus rising, Taurus Lagna, Taurus Ascendant. And before we begin, I wanted to remind that we have lots of courses online. We have beginners, advanced, and specific topics, so you can join. Those are live Zoom classes. And these predictions, they are the most detailed you'll find out there. And we'll go month by month based on the sun's transit in each of the 12 zodiac signs. So if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for your time. So let's start with the first month. So this is from December 15th through January 13th. Now, remember, there are other events happening throughout each of the month. For example, the full moon, the new moon. I'll have separate videos on those. And also, you should watch the initial months, and because I will not repeat. If the planets are in the same sign a few months, so I won't repeat that in every month's section. So first of all, this month, Sun will be in Sagittarius. Sun in the eighth house in the sign of Sagittarius. So that means this will bring to surface some secrets, could be in your day-to-day life, general secrets, or this could also mean this will illuminate all the hidden secrets of the universe for you, all the esoteric wisdoms. This is a perfect month for you to begin some of your, spiritual studies. That could be anything, astrology, of course, or energy healing, past life regression, those things. Now, Sun in the eighth house also means there may be some good news or some positive developments in terms of inheritance or shared resources. So, any money you are expecting to get from other people, this will be a good month for that. And then we have, let's first look at the slow moving planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. First of all, Jupiter has been in your Lagna for a while, since May 2024. It'll remain there, but it's retrograde now. So that means it is giving you results of the 12th house. So this is a perfect time, the Jupiter retrograde in Taurus going towards Aries in your 12th house. This is good for you for pilgrimage, especially in a foreign country, spiritual travel, giving donations, because 12th house is the house of giving away. And Jupiter is the expansive energy, planet of wisdom, and also going to retreats, doing meditation. And again, so your fourth house and eighth house and 12th house are being activated by very dharmic, sattvic, spiritual planets, Sun and Jupiter. So the whole focus is to dive deep into esoteric subjects. And also 12th house is subconscious mind. So that means direct connection with other planes of existence. And also specifically things like yoga nidra. You can also do sleep meditation or lucid dreaming. So try to develop connection with your ancestors. That's going to be, this is a very powerful month, activating all of that energy. Then we have Rahu, and also Jupiter giving results of 12th house means more opportunities from abroad, more projects, or just meeting people, foreigners, things like that. And then Rahu and Ketu continue to be in your fifth house, 11th house and fifth house, respectively. Rahu in the fifth house, excellent for innovation, latest technology, reaching out to the masses, social media. So be more present on social media. So say you want to have a webinar or launch a channel and things like that. So this is excellent for that. And also finding solutions or some things for humanity, to help the humanity, some innovation, some projects, some initiatives, how you can help the humanity. This is perfect time for that, to give birth to some big ideas. And then Ketu in the fifth house at the same time, great for mantra chanting, and also for introducing your kids to spirituality or doing spiritual things with your kids. And if you are expecting or trying to become a parent, then this may not be the ideal time for that. So you should wait until Ketu moves away from the fifth house. Be careful also in your romantic relationships. This may cause like distance or detachment unless it is spiritually based. The foundation, it should be spiritual. Then we have Saturn. continues to be in your 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. It's Mul Trikona Rashi. This will give solidify your career. You'll develop foundation for the rest of your life. Good long-term strategy and more projects and more grounding for your career. And then we have Mars. You'll get a relief in your third house because Mars has been debilitated in the sign of Cancer in your third house, and now it's retrograde. That means it is sort of moving away from debilitation and wants to go back to the second house, which is the sign of Gemini. So you have to be careful about speech. There may be possible challenges with teeth. Take care of your teeth and your speech and the food that you eat. But it'll give you more energy to work towards your financial wealth that is accumulated resources. Plus, of course, always check how your natal chart is, what are the placements in the natal chart, what dasha, antardasha you're running. And also we have the other slower moving planets like Venus, the transit of Venus and of course the moon, those and Mercury, those also you have to see. But this is overall really good picture how this month is going to be. Next, we have from January 13th through February 12th. The sun will be in your ninth house in the sign of Capricorn. So that'll be the Makar Sankranti we'll celebrate on the January 13th, 14th. And so sun in the ninth house will make you a guru, or you'll have association of elevated gurus, good spiritual discussions. This is the month for that. Spend time with your spiritual sangha. Spiritual travel, long distance travel, spiritual based, and also great for higher studies. Ninth house represents like PhD and higher studies. So great time to enroll in some higher level courses or programs, and then also higher wisdom in general. So that's ninth house. Then we have and also good for your father. Sun in the ninth house it's a good placement for your connection with your father, or in his life things may improve. Then we'll look at the slower moving planets. And Saturn, we already discussed in the December through January section, the previous section. So watch that section for that. And then Rahu Ketu also we discussed. Now, Jupiter will be direct as of February 4th. So sort of mid of this cycle. Then once Jupiter goes direct, starting February 4th, then it'll give you expansion. Again, you'll feel this more grounded energy, more blessings of the gurus throughout your life, in all areas of your life. And you'll have more wisdom. You'll think more spiritually. And then also your personality will develop. That's Jupiter's going to turn direct from retrograde phase, and that'll be from February 4th. So it'll lift up the whole chart basically. But for Rahu Ketu in the 11th and 5th houses, and Saturn in the 10th, watch the previous month's section. Then we have Mars. It's similar to last month, but now Mars will not just be retrograde. During its retrograde motion, it will enter the sign of Gemini itself as of 20th of January. So pretty much the whole month of Mars will still be retrograde, but it'll physically be in your second house instead of third house. So that means there is going to be relief for the third house actually. Third house has been under pressure. Mars debilitated in the sign of Cancer and retrograde. So the communication will improve. Your networking skills, marketing, sales, all those will be good. And anyway, Rahu is sitting in the 11th house, so reaching out to people on social media, things like that. But the third house will get a big relief. Now, but the second house will have the retrograde Mercury starting February 4th. I'm sorry, starting 20th of January, right? So retrograde Mars sitting in Gemini in the second house. So be very careful in your speech. There may be tendency of harsh speech or speaking ill will, and also take care of your diet. Pay attention to the food that you're eating. So that's Mars in the second house. So those are all the planets for this month. Then February 12th through March 14th, that's when Sun will be in Aquarius. Now, Sun and Saturn together in the 10th house, that's usually not a great combination because Sun and Saturn are considered enemies. But here in this case, in fact, both Sun and Saturn, they are karakas for 10th house, meaning they are sort of rulers of the 10th house in a way, because Sun represents government, Sun represents name and fame, and all that is 10th house. And then Saturn represents our career. 10th house is our career. So both of them give strong results in the 10th house. This is the time for you to rise and shine as a leader. Set the foundation for the rest of your life for your career. Uh, think long term, develop strategy, all of those. So, really powerful. This is like absolutely fantastic period for your career. A lot of opportunities. You may not see the results right this month, but this is the time to set the ground for a lot for your future. Rahu Ketu continue to be in the 11th and 5th house. Watch the first month section. We discussed that in detail. And again, Jupiter is going to continue to be in your Lagna, blessings of the Guru throughout your life, all areas of life, expansion in your personality, better for health. So this will lift up health also. Okay. And finally, Mars will be direct instead of retrograde. So now we'll have direct Mars as of 23rd of February. Direct Mars in the second house will give you a lot of energy and courage and action to work towards family wealth. How you can improve or have more abundance in your family or improve your accumulated resources. Again, Mars here is strong, but you have to be careful of your speech still and the food that you eat. So um, that's Mars in the second house. Also, you have to look at other transits like Mercury and Venus and the Moon, the slow moving planets. But this is overall good, detailed analysis. Do look at your natal chart as well, how the planets are placed. So that will modify the results. All right. So that's February through March. Next, we have the mid March through mid April. Again, watch the previous sections, especially the first and second, where we discuss the slow moving planets. So Jupiter continues to be in your Lagna, blessings of the Guru, and expansion overall in all areas of life, and better for health. Now, but big major changes happen. This is a very, very transformative month. There is going to be eclipses, and especially the March 29th eclipse. That's going to be massive in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces. So there'll be five planets congregating in the sign of Pisces uh, on that day, March 29th. And in fact, Saturn is changing sign from Aquarius to Pisces, entering the sign of Pisces on 29th, and we have eclipse on that same day. So it's a very, very sensitive period. So your 10th house, 11th house, both may be impacted, especially the 11th house. I'll have separate videos for lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. But Sun will enter the sign of Pisces. Sun will be in your 11th house. And so 11th house Sun means you'll have more name and fame on social media or online. You'll meet, more higher status people. And so the Sun and Rahu will be in the 11th house. So that will actually really give this huge uh, influence to you on social media. So this is good for innovation, good for reaching out to people, a lot of marketing and sales and then webinars or YouTube stuff like that. Then we have the other shift, as I mentioned, Saturn will be changing signs from Aquarius to Pisces as of 29th of March. So Saturn has been in your 10th house, setting the foundation for your career, more opportunities, long-term strategy. Now, starting end of March, Saturn will finally go into your 11th house in the sign of Pisces. First 2 months are very sensitive, end of March through April and May, because Saturn and Rahu are conjunct. So there'll be Saturn, Rahu, both sitting in your 11th house. That may give some, a lot of Vata energy, unsettled energy to your career and also financial income those couple of months while Saturn and Sun are coming head-on collision, coming towards each other. But after May, that's when Rahu will change signs. Then Saturn will solidify your income. You'll see better income and more stable income. But initially, especially this month, mid-March through mid-April, the things will be volatile related to your income. So you have to be careful on that. So the remedies, do lots of pranayam during this period, during these eclipses also, to pacify the energy of Saturn and Rahu, both which are both the Vata planets. And then Rahu Ketu, actually, we discussed, they're still in your 11th house and 5th house, respectively. So watch the previous month's sections, especially the first month, mid-December through mid-January. And Mars. Now, Mars is changing signs. It's going direct now, finally. It will enter the sign of Cancer on 2nd of April. So from April onwards, you'll see more courage to deal with day-to-day challenges. That is your third house. But be careful in your relationship with your younger siblings or your close friends or neighbors. There could be aggression. And then also Mars there will help with all sorts of communication. Next, we have mid-April to mid-May. Now, things will stabilize a little bit this period. We'll have two eclipses in the previous month. Now, lots of positive things, positive changes and shifts. Although one big major thing that you still need to pay attention is Saturn and Rahu together. They are, in fact, coming towards each other, head-on collision. So, first of all, Sun will enter the sign of Aries. That is, Sun is exalted in Aries, and it'll be your 12th house. So your subconscious mind will be activated. You may have opportunities from abroad, foreign people, foreign travel is possible, but also going to the retreats. This will Sun will illuminate wherever it goes. It illuminates that area of life. So your connection with your ancestors may be active, and or astral travel, other planes of existence, things like that. So those are very, very powerful. Again, 11th house, be careful. We discussed in the previous month's section also that there could be illusion on social media. Rahu and Saturn together, lots of Vata energy. You may feel dissatisfied. There could be a lot of change and movement and transformation, but not so much settled energy. So that's 11th house, still that energy going on. And Rahu in Pisces, Ketu in Virgo. So watch in fact, the first section also that where we discussed Rahu in the 11th house and Ketu in the fifth. What does that mean? Jupiter continues to be in Taurus, that we discussed in the previous sections also. So expansion and abundance and wealth and blessings overall for all areas of life. And Saturn will be direct now. And it'll start settling down in Pisces, but will still be with Rahu. Now, Mars will continue to be in Cancer. It's debilitated there, and it has the trinal aspect of Rahu and Saturn. So the third house and 11th house, they are under pressure. Your relationship also will be very much under pressure. Be very, very careful in your relationships because the seventh house is having the trinal aspect of both Mars, Rahu, and Saturn. In Bhrigu Nadinadi, we always look at the trinal aspect. So one very, very important thing, be very careful in your relationships. There could be lots of changes. Relationships may break actually, or could be aggression and things. So that's one area to be careful about. Same thing with your communication on social media or short distance travels. Now, one positive thing is this is excellent month for short distance travels, meeting people, networking, going out. But you have to be careful in choosing your words. The communication should not be harsh or aggressive. So that's what's going on overall. And then you have to look at the slow moving planets as well, Mercury, Venus, and Moon, and also look at your natal chart. So, but that's overall picture mid-April to mid-May. Next, we have May through June, mid-May through mid-June. That's also going to be, it's going to be very, very pivotal. The very big shifts happening. The biggest of them all, Rahu and Ketu will be changing signs, uh, 29th of May. So first, let's discuss what does that mean. So that is new, right? So that's a big transition happening. Rahu will go to your 10th house from 11th house. Now, 11th house, it was more about reaching out to people, helping people, humanity, innovation, all that. Now, in 10th house, there may be chaos in your career, chaos as in a lot of unsettled energy, lack of clarity, but it'll give you a lot of ambition and you'll have a lot of energy and um, this desire to reach the top level in your career. So Rahu will make you work hard, really hard, give you optimism, but there could be lack of clarity, like lack of groundedness. You may not feel, oh, I'm all set in my career. So that feeling may not be. No matter where you are or how much you've achieved, Rahu will make you uh, go further. So that's in Rahu in the 10th house. And then Ketu at the same time will be in your fourth house. That means literally there could be a change of residence. There could be a lot of spiritual work you may do at home, like spiritual gatherings or retreats, And also you'll try to discover what makes you happy. So there's going to be the focus will be while Rahu and Ketu are in your fourth and houses, they will be focused on home front and they'll be focused on your work and career. So you have to strike a balance. So that's the key during this transit. Then we have Jupiter. Actually, that's the other big shift that's happening this month. In fact, the first day, the 14th of May, Jupiter will be changing signs. It will go from Taurus to Gemini. So Jupiter now will be in your second house. Expansion of wealth, expansion of speech, like good, you can speak like a leader, like a guru, and also more sattvic diet, and you'll eat well, and then your speech will be very wise. So all those areas will get a boost. Sun at the same time will enter your first house, Lagna, that is Taurus, rising sign. Sun in the first house is always a blessing, especially for health. It'll give you more confidence, more immunity, better health, uh, good self confidence. All those will improve. And also, especially, Sun will not be under the influence of Rahu or Ketu anymore because those will be in the Kendra houses. So, those will be the blessings of the Sun in the first house. Now, Mars. Finally, Mars will be coming out of debilitation from the sign of Cancer and enter in the sign of Leo on 6th of June. Now that could, may sound like a huge relief, a retrograde warrior in chief, but the issue is Mars will go to your fourth house. That is the sign of Leo. And as we see, Ketu will also join Mars. So there'll be a lot of this possible harsh energy, Pitta energy in your fourth house. There could be a lot of conflicts in your home. Um, but this is a good time for real estate. Look for opportunities. And but then Mars in the fourth house will also make you a little bit more aggressive or maybe anger in your home. So that's the overall picture. You have to see your natal chart, of course, and you have to see the Mercury and Venus and Moon where they are going. I'll have separate videos for that, but that's high level picture. So that's mid-May through mid-June. Next we have mid-June through mid-July. Now these three planets will stabilize Rahu, Ketu, and Jupiter because they changed signs previous month. So now they'll still be in these houses: Rahu in the 10th, Ketu in the 4th. Watch the previous month section to understand what that means. At the same time, Jupiter in Gemini in the second house. So that also remains the same. Watch the previous section. But the shift or the change is, in fact, a big change is Sun will enter your second house from your first house. Sun will be in the sign of Gemini. So all glory, all the strength to your second house. You should speak, uh, be a speaker. June and Jupiter is wisdom and depth, and then Sun is like a leader. So you should talk, you give speeches like a leader, and also um, your diet will improve a lot. So you'll eat more sattvic food. And then this is the period when you'll start consolidating your family wealth, your accumulated resources. A lot of ideas, projects, or initiatives or blessings will be there throughout this month for that area of life. Then Rahu Ketu continue to be in the 10th house and the fourth house that we have discussed before. Listen to the previous section. And then the other big shift happening is Saturn will be turning retrograde towards the end of this cycle. So toward on 12th of July, Saturn retrograde from 11th house, meaning it wants to go back to the 10th house. So there may be a hold on your income, but Saturn in the 10th house will give you a lot of ideas how you can set up the foundation for the rest of your life for your career specifically. And also with Rahu, there may be challenges, ups and downs, obstacles, lack of clarity, illusion. That's all Rahu influencing Saturn, the planet of profession in the 10th house of career. But good thing is Rahu will also give you ambition. So Rahu Saturn combination in the 10th house will make you work extremely hard, and then you'll have ideas, innovative ideas. That is Rahu, but you'll set the foundation. You'll develop the strategy for your career while Saturn is in retrograde motion. So that's overall analysis. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, fourth house is the key. You need to pay attention. There could be a lot of fiery, angry Pitta energy in your home. Okay, so that's mid-June through mid. And also the fourth house, watch the previous month's section on the energy of Mars and Ketu together in your fourth house. Very important. This could be sort of explosive energy in your fourth house, in your home environment. Next, we have mid-July through mid-August. Sun will move into the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by Moon, and the slow-moving planets, most of them remain in the same sign. So Rahu, Ketu in your 10th house and 4th house, Saturn retrograde in the 11th, going towards the 10th house, and Jupiter continues to be in Gemini. So watch the previous month. So none of these will change, but description is given in the previous month. The big shifts happening. One is Sun will be in the sign of Cancer in the 3rd house. So this is excellent for short distance travels, for meeting people, networking, for developing new skills. Because wherever Sun goes, that house gets illuminated. So this is, in fact, if you have any skills, this is the time to showcase those skills or learn some new skills. And this will also bring truth and steadiness to your relationship with your younger siblings or with your friends, close friends, or with your neighbors also. So that's all in the 3rd house, but it will give you immense courage to deal with day-to-day challenges. So be very confident during this month, July through August, mid-July through mid-August. Sun is supporting you to give you courage to deal with the day-to-day challenges. The other shift happening, Mars will be moving from Leo to Virgo, from your 4th house to 5th house. So that will bring a huge relief to your 4th house because still Ketu is still there, but it's not going to be at least the massive Pitta energy of Ketu and Mars. So Mars will be in the 5th house starting the end of July or 28th of July. Mars in the 5th house, be careful dealing with your romantic relationships, be careful dealing with your children. There could be aggression or anger, but also it's excellent for action. That means spend a lot of physical energy, do physical work, volunteer, or just play around, or doing things, renovation at home, anything physical, going on a hike with your children or with your romantic partner. That's Mars in the 5th house, but it'll give you a lot of creativity also, a lot of courage. So this is a good month to play sports. All that is 5th house as well. So that's the overall picture. You have to look at the slow moving planets also. Mercury, Venus, and Moon. I'll have separate videos for those. But this gives you a pretty good idea. Next, we have mid-August through mid-September. Here, of course, there is the eclipse taking place on 7th of September. But otherwise, all the major planets, the slow-moving planets, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Jupiter, those will not be changing, still the same position as the last 2 months. So watch the previous 2 months to understand the energy of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Jupiter. The shift happening is one is Sun will enter Leo, its own sign. So that is going to be very, very positive. So see, Sun Ketu is also Dhwaj Kirti Yoga. So there may be name and fame or popularity, maybe because of your house or the way you decorate your house. So something to do with your house will become known outside. But also you'll discover what makes you happy. Sun and Ketu going inwards in your 4th house, you'll discover like what is giving you long lasting happiness. And then this may also be period for renovation or improving things at home, doing lots of sadhana, lots of spiritual gatherings in your home. This is perfect month for that. Then we have Mars will be entering the sign of Libra from Virgo. So from your 5th house, Mars will enter your 6th house. That will be excellent for competitive exams, for taking care of enemies, dealing with obstacles and challenges, more physical work, new health routines, which are more physical. That's all 6th house, and showing more energy at your work also. But be careful not to have any aggression or anger at your job. But otherwise, Mars will also give you a lot of energy to do volunteer work, service to humanity, service to other people. That is 6th house as well. So those are the major shifts happening. Watch the previous sections, and also I'll have separate videos for Mercury, Venus, and Moon transits, plus all the new moons and full moons each of the month. So, but this is good detailed analysis for all the slower moving planets. Then mid-September through mid-October. First of all, Sun will enter your 5th house, so it'll be good for digestion. Your digestion, your food intake, all that will improve, especially Sun in the fifth and Mars in the sixth. Absolutely fantastic. So you should be able to digest pretty much everything, and you'll be able to deal with the enemies very strongly. Mars continues to be in your sixth house in the sign of Libra. Rahu Ketu continue to be in the 10th house and 4th house, respectively. Watch the previous sections. Same thing with Jupiter and Saturn. So no change there, just the Sun and Mars. Now, Sun in the 5th house will also give you massive creativity. This month, do lots and lots of creative projects with your children or with your romantic partner or just yourself. And also spend time with your disciples or students if you have any. And then also this will give you ideas and illuminate the world of stock market or investments. Those are also going to be very good. And for additional things for Mars in the sixth house, watch the previous section as well, because Mars was there previous month also. So that's mid-September through mid-October. Next, we have mid-October through mid-November. Now, Sun will be debilitated in the sign of Libra in your sixth house. And Mars at the same time will move away from your sixth house over to your seventh house. So, one big caution is relationships. You may feel more aggressive energy in your relationships. Be careful. You can chant Hanuman Chalisa for that. And then Sun will be in the sixth house, good for taking competitive, sitting in competitive exams, dealing with the enemies and all. But Sun is debilitated still, right? So that means it won't have as much power, but it'll give you humility. You'll be willing to learn, and Sun in the sixth house will actually give you name and fame in your profession, in your job. That is sixth house. And also act as a leader in your job. Sun is the leader, sixth house is our profession, our job. Now, if there are any legal issues or anything going on, be very truthful there. Sun is the planet of truth and throws light on everything. So there shouldn't be any hidden stuff going on. So those are overall some of the indications for mid-October through mid-November. And then we have the last month, mid-November through mid-December. Some big shifts happening there as well. Jupiter, which has been in the sign of Cancer, exalted. First of all, actually from Gemini to Cancer, it'll enter the sign of Cancer. And also, so that'll be actually, before that, so we missed one thing in the previous month. So October, mid-October through mid-November. Another big shift happening is Jupiter will turn retrograde as of 11th November. So before 11th November, Jupiter was exalted in your third house. So it's giving you, actually, it just enters sign of Cancer and for about a month or 3 weeks. So in Cancer, it'll be exalted. Great for communication, great for networking, meeting people, learning new skills, and also showing wisdom and expansion in your marketing and sales and all those efforts. But mid of the month, so 11th of November, it'll turn retrograde. So again, it wants to go back to the sign of Gemini. So you'll have more energy and focus and blessings and wisdom and expansion in your second house matters. There's the family wealth and speech and food, all of those areas will blossom. But this was a short, entry into Cancer for less than a month, and then it starts going back again retrograde. So that was the missing piece for mid-October through mid-November. And then, so continuing with mid-November through mid-December, Jupiter will actually enter the sign of Gemini in its retrograde motion. Okay, so first it'll give you results of the second house, even from the third house because it's retrograde. Now, when it enters Gemini, 5th of December. So then we will consider Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Gemini. That means it wants to go back to your first house. So after December 5th, you will actually see the blessings of Jupiter on your Lagna. Overall, your chart will be lifted up and you'll feel more expansive and hope and wisdom. All of those blessings will be there, blessings of the gurus. Rahu Ketu continue to be in your 10th house and 4th house. Saturn will be direct finally, 27th of November. So now Saturn can focus on giving you more financial income and connection with your friends and social media, reaching out to the masses, doing some things for public, and then also more ways of making income, increasing your financial income situation. Those things will be there. Now, slower moving planets, Sun will be in the sign of Scorpio in your eighth house. Sorry, seventh house. Be careful in your relationship. There should not be any ego, because one partner gets the name and fame, the other partner may have this, feeling of jealousy, not jealousy, or at least they're not able to withstand all that name and fame or luster or brilliance of the other partner. So that's the big concern of Sun in the seventh house. And so Mars is also sitting there for a while until 7th of December. So absolutely critical that at least until 7th December, there could, be very, very gentle in your relationships. Otherwise, this could blow up. After December 7th, then Mars will enter your eighth house in the sign of Sagittarius. So there will be some relief to your seventh house, but still, Sun is there, and so that's a big Pitta energy, and especially because Jupiter will also leave the sign of Cancer. So from Cancer, it was actually aspecting your seventh house, but no more, because Jupiter will be going to the sign of Gemini on the 5th of December. So careful in relationships. And then Mars in the eighth house means you may get inheritance, you may have more energy to, you know, learn or dive into the secrets of universe. And but be careful about any hidden secrets, especially about your relationships, because the seventh lord is going to the eighth house, and that's the passionate planet of Mars. So that's the overall analysis for the 12 months. And this is still a high level analysis. You have to superimpose this on top of your natal chart to get the full picture. Also, see what Mahadasha, Antardasha you're running. Those will modify the results. And then watch the monthly, changes happening, the new moons and the full moons, and also the Mercury and Venus and Moon. Those transits will be separate videos. So those are the very fast moving planets. But overall, this will give you a lot of clues, a lot of things you can plan or look forward to or be careful about. So that's the whole purpose of this 2025 predictions. Again, we teach online courses live on Zoom, but also there are pre-recorded versions as well if you prefer. Beginners course, advanced course, specific areas. So all of those are available. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. That means a lot to us. And thanks for your time. And may we all have, especially all the Taurus rising people, have a wonderful 2025. Namaste.